get right to our security analyst, Ed Davis, now, who joins us live from Tewksbury. You know, and Ed, we have on average one school shooting a week now in this country. Ken talked about it just a second ago, but how has the law enforcement response changed or evolved as these have become more common?
Well, Lisa, this goes back to Columbine, and we learned a lesson that we had to move to contact for the threat. We used to secure the place, and the idea was to let hostage negotiators try to talk people out, like there was some underlying logic to all this. But the truth of the matter is, what we've been seeing lately is just a desire to kill. And so when we get to the scene now, our officers are trained to go to the sound of gunfire, try to neutralize the threat, and then worry about the investigation and the victims afterwards.
Ed, we learned that the suspect was not a current student, a former student, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz. He escaped with other students. He blended in with the crowd as everyone else was evacuating. He ended up being found at a different site. How does law enforcement try to deal with a situation like that where they are converging on the school and then the suspect has gone elsewhere?
Well, we train on this situation. That's why all the students who are running out have their hands up. That's why all of those backpacks were taken from the students. And you know, another thing is in the training, when something like this happens, you're told to leave everything behind. And people just aren't getting that message. They all had backpacks with them. They all picked up things, which delayed their exit. The key thing here is to get away as soon as possible. But police are looking for a threat among the people who are coming out. That doesn't mean that they can contain everybody. Their main mission is to get the victims as far away from the school as possible and then sort the thing out. And in this particular case, unfortunately, this suspect got in with some students, managed to get through the police lines, but they picked them up in fairly fast response. And the good thing about this is it seems as though witnesses at the scene were able to identify this guy very quickly. So they knew who they were looking for. You can't get far in a situation like this.
Yeah, and you know, we know that these students, that the employees at the school, that parents are going to be dealing with a great deal of trauma after a violence like this. What can other school districts learn from what happened today?
They can train. They need to pay attention to this threat. They need to have not only training, but policy. And the policy needs to be tested. The reason we were able to respond so well to the Boston Marathon is because the officers in the Boston Police Department trained over and over and over again to deal with that type of threat. Unfortunately, the same training is necessary in schools and businesses across America, and we're seeing more and more hardening of targets, locks and cameras and things like that, but we can't stop that. We have to be vigilant.
Ed, you were talking with us last hour about how potentially gun policy in this country has to change. Should we be thinking about armed guards at our schools at this point, or metal detectors? Where do you stand on that?
I really think that the solution to this lies in better regulation. I don't want to take guns away from people that have a right to have them, but there are people that have a propensity to violence that shouldn't have them. And as we saw in the shooting in Texas, we have too many holes in our system right now. The military was not reporting to the civil authorities people who had a propensity for violence. Mental health agencies in states across the country don't report information. So as a police commissioner, I was giving out gun permits to people that I thought were all right, and they weren't. And so those are the kind of things we need to do to stop this from happening. They know about this kid. There's been reports that he's threatened people before. I think when this all comes out, we're going to see that these holes need to be plugged.
Ed Davis joining us live from Tewksbury, our security analyst. Ed, thank you very much. We appreciate it.